perfect, but perfect
You want me to?
results.
Do you want me to watch the defense or?
Uh, no, not for crunch time. For crunch time, I have to say, look at the attack.
There go.
Uh,
Did she run away? She ran away, I guess. That was
Sim,
the
let bring
metro.
us him.
Okay.
Or where are you? There you go. Got Junkrat, far room.
Are we ready? Let's push in.
Yep.
Let's get that. See if we can get that jump back. Those things behind us, fast, please.
Yep.
Shield's going down. Shield's going down. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back
Also
up.
running
Back
a
up.
monkey.
so when you're playing up against a Symmetra, right? She's gonna set up her turrets in all these stupid spots, right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have cooldowns for each one. It's similar to Tracer Blinks, how the cooldowns for those work, but they're a bit longer. And so if you destroy them all quickly and then push in, because they each have like 1 health, right? So like if you just kind of spray and pray at them, you don't need to be. I mean, you just like kind of shake your camera around in their general direction, they'll all die, and then you guys push in early. Their Symmetra won't be able to get set up because what Symmetras like to do is they set up around this choke here with the turrets, and it makes it difficult to push through. So by doing that, you can catch them out. They will likely be standing here, not doing anything, trying to set up turrets. Something stupid. So you can usually catch them there if you push quickly.
Back up. So be careful. There's gonna be more of them than you.
Brigida's right side. Brigida's right side.
Is that a tracer or so?
Watch out for Symmetra balls, DM
Good.
12.
All right. Hide. Okay.
Okay,
You ready?
let's get ready to push in there. Yep.
Push in. Push in.
If you have like no health, no purpose. Okay, you're good. Pushing, guys.
Shield's going down. Shield's going down. And I was going through the choke, and shield just kept dying. He'll run.
Get it.
And I went in there, and that was a Junkrat.
So they have. Hold on. What is their comp? This is their only shield break. Right here, which is good. They have. I mean, Hog Junkrat is good shield break. What you want to do is push here. Let me
DM 12.
up a little bit so I can get a good angle here.
Like no health, no purpose. Okay, you're good.
So when we push in, ideally, by the way, you would go instead of all the way back around here, you would just kind of kite if you're kiting into the room where the mega health pack is, so you don't have to walk as far with your shield.
Okay,
Right?
let's get ready to push in there. Yep.
If you have like no health, no purpose. Okay, you're good.
You have to go pretty far before your shields even before you can even get to the choke. So your shield's already low by the time you've even reached this little area, right? What you would want to do is wait a little bit, and then as you guys push in, just make that little route. Faz, you use your defense matrix, even as he is shielding, because that helps keep the shield alive, right? Because you can eat some of these and it'll recharge before you fight again. So you can push it as you guys are pushing in, just kind of eat some of the little Junkrat balls. You can eat like every other one or something like that, or just kind of hold it even, just to kind of help that. And you guys would probably be able to push through this a lot easier.
Pushing, guys.
Shield's going down. Shield's going down.
Because like, see, shield went down before we even got to the choke, and so now we end up taking a fight in the choke where we don't really want to.
Jump low. Who's the Bridget?
Bridget. He'll run.
Get it.
There you go. Nice.
Good, we got one. Push in.
Push.
Look for the mercy res. Look for the mercy.
Ah,
Shit, right.
How'd you get over
Look
there?
for the mercy res. Look for the mercy.
I think I voluntarily went.
Yeah, no, you did.
Down charge. Trying to go.
So if you're going to go for a play like this, you have to call out who is there and why you want to attack them. Or you don't even have to say why you want to attack them. You just have to say that you are attacking them and charging them, so the rest of your team can be there. Because it kind of catches the rest of your team off guard. See Krovek still looking forward, Faz still looking forward, Dumbass is probably in the air looking over there. Doublick is
Oh,
like,
shit,
wait,
right,
what is
right,
this?
Hog half.
Split. Oh,
Shit, Ryan, what are you doing?
and instead of running away,
You
Doug
also
was trying to heal
Ryan,
him.
what are you doing?
could have done a big hero play here. Shot the fire strike at the tire.
That's alright, I think.
Oh, was this aimed at the tire?
I think.
Okay.
Suckers. It's so fast.
Fun fact, you can one-shot tires with the fire strike. That's cool.
You have to hit him though. That's the
You
hard
do have
part.
to hit 'em, though. But tires hitbox is like that big, right? And then fire strike hitbox is also like that big. So it's not quite as hard as you think. With a little bit of practice, you'll get used to it. But yeah, so we lose our mercy here to the tire. At this point, just run away. When we lose our mercy before the fight even starts, like we haven't gone anywhere. We're still here. When we lose our mercy, like right next to spawn, just turn around and go back. It's just because otherwise this is no longer a fight that is winnable, and if we take the fight, we risk losing somebody before our mercy gets back. Whereas if we stay, or if we wait, then our mercy comes back and we take a fight with 6 people 10 seconds later instead of taking a fight with 6 people like 30 seconds or 40 seconds later.
Damn it. Reset.
So that's a good call. Good call.
Alright, we've already got
I
3
got
ults.
Deadeye up. They got no defense to Deadeye if we wait for that monkey to drop his shield. I guess the Sim shield is the only thing. Right. Fuck it up.
They might have, what you call it by now.
Jumps, where's he spam it from?
Ready?
Jump
Oh, yeah?
Cav, low right
Yeah.
side.
Let's go. Push now.
Or you're alone.
Fast, DM.
Jumps low again.
Yep.
Ready? Let's go.
Push in.
Yeah, so there's the right idea.
Got him.
Got mercy.
You have to be ready for this, though, when you're playing up against a Symmetra. Like, pretty much every Symmetra is going, even all the way up into, like, Grandmaster, Symmetras will set up this kind of thing. Right? And Faz, this is, if you guys were playing Monkey Diva, then it would be on Victor to kind of just zap them all and they'll immediately die. But Faz, this would be on you when we're going through chokes against a Symmetra. Just turn around and just sweep along it with your little guns, just whatever, right? They all die pretty immediately. And that means that the rest of your team can push through unhindered. Right here with Dumbass and Doublick, they can be going over instead of going underneath, and then Dumbass can turn around and shoot at them as well. So that is another option. But you need to have somebody take care of these, because they individually they kind of suck, and even together they're not very strong. But they build up Symmetra's ult charge very fast, and they slow you down, which is annoying. And they're pretty deadly to 200 HP targets.
I'm gonna get the
get
turret.
the
Sorry.
turret, I'm gonna get the
Got him.
Oh, why do you
Got
all
mercy,
right
got
there?
mercy.
I'm gonna get the
Come
turret.
get the
Sorry.
turret, come get the turret.
He uses High Noon here. He uses High Noon here. He sees shields go down, sees a bunch of people, thinks he can
Push in.
High Noon.
If you would have did it like where Doublick is now, maybe they would have backed off at least.
Yeah, I would rather him hold on to this and have everyone rotate over, since you're so immobile in it. You do not want to be standing in a choke when you use High Noon. Same with like Fair Barrage and Death Blossom, right? You don't want to be standing somewhere where the enemy team can just easily shoot at you, right? And he's got a monkey close, he's got Symmetric and who can shoot through shields, so even if he has your shield, you won't die. But if he's going to do this, he needs to call out, "Hey team, I'm going to press Q now," because McCree is one of those heroes that is press Q to respawn. And so if you don't have 5 players pocketing him, then he will die if he presses Q. Right? Similarly to not as much Ferret in lower ranks, but in higher ranks, heroes like Ferret and Soldier are very much like that, where you press Q and everyone on the enemy team uses every cooldown against you, and you just die. And like McCree lights up, he turns. You can't tell because he's on your team, but he turns like bright red, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm here. Shoot at me." Right? He has a terrible ultimate. But yeah, if he communicates this and we pocket him with the Mercy Beam and Shield and everything, maybe this is okay. I'd rather him wait a little bit, but he just needs to communicate. Hey, I want to use High Noon in this fight. Hey, I'm using High Noon now. Pocket me. He uses High Noon. Probably wouldn't kill anything, but even if he doesn't, they back up. We go fight. Easy peasy. I keep changing it.
I
Alright.
get the turret. Sorry. Got him.
Got Mercy, got Mercy.
I'm gonna get the
Come get
turret.
the turret,
Sorry.
come get the turret.
Got him.
So here, Doublek is playing too far forward here. Right, Mercy has like a 15-meter range on her beam or something like that. So because of her ability of Guardian Angel, where she can fly to people, right? What you can do as Mercy is wait until most of your team has gone through the choke and then fly across to catch up with them quickly, so that you don't.
Push in.
Because here he's right next to everyone, right? And so he can't fly to anyone.
Sorry. Got him.
So he's trying to run away from this monkey, but there's nothing he can do because he has no target for
Got him.
flying
Got
away.
Mercy, got Mercy.
Shit.
And the soldier's the one that ends up killing him, but he takes all this damage from the monkey there. And probably a Helix rocket. But he can avoid that by just staying back. Or even just staying with the Pharah for now. The Krovik ulted, so ideally, if Krovik's going to ult here, he says, "I'm going to ult as we push through." Right? You guys push through to about where you guys are. Krovik stands here, presses Q, and Doublek stands about where he is now, maybe a little bit that way, and heals him.
I'm gonna get the turret. Sorry. Got him.
Got Mercy, got Mercy.
Shit, your Mercy is down. You're 3 down.
I'm down.
Pull up.
Oh, shit.
Reset.
Wow.
Poor
I
Victor.
feel like I need to be doing something other than
I'm getting
monkey
slightly
based.
staggered there. It's alright. I mean, there's not much you can do as Reinhardt there. You just die. You can, in that case, since you're not getting out, you can just kind of walk into them and try to swing, build up shatter. You already have it, so it doesn't matter, but that's what I usually do, just so that the other team doesn't accidentally kill me really late. You know, they kill me really early because they're like, this Ryan is going to kill me if I don't kill them, and they're not like, should we chase this Ryan? I don't know. And then you respawn later. But
Alright.
it's not so bad. You guys have lots of ultimates.
Hit Gianca, could also Reaper.
Alright, we have 5 ults.
Yeah.
Aura
If you
Victor,
Reaper, I can junk after I ult.
MS Victor combo. Okay, that's what we're looking for next.
They don't really have a shield, huh?
They're gonna have Telly up by now, right?
I haven't
Robert.
heard it, but they should.
Yeah, it's
my
back.
shield just gets destroyed.
Yeah, it's the junkyard. We gotta
Yeah, so you're taking
I haven't
two, like, you put your shield up here, and
They don't really have a shield.
oh, you put your shield up all the way back here. You have 500 health, right? So you can, especially when your team isn't in like direct line of fire, you can take damage as Reinhardt. Like, consider this 200 HP of armor right here to be kind of disposable, especially when you have a healer with you. So you can trade your shield health for your armor health here. Hey, dumbass, how's it going?
It's going good, just taking a nightly walk.
Alright, sounds fun. on visor right now, but so yeah, you can hear what's going on. And
Yeah.
Holmes, you can log in if you like.
Alright.
But yeah, so you can Victor, you can trade this 200 HP of armor because if you still have armor, you're pretty safe, right? Unless you get hooked or something like that. So you can just kind of balance having your shield out versus having this out. That way your supports get ult charge faster because they're healing you, and your shield lives longer.
Really have a shield, huh?
They're gonna have Telly up by now, right?
I haven't heard it, but they should.
Right? Because like if you put your shield up right now for the first time, then you're fine. But instead, you're at like 600, 700 health on your shield right now, and you won't even make it to the choke.
Yeah, it's the junkyard. We gotta deal with
Yeah.
it. Alright, we should all be coming in to focus him on the right.
Shield's gone.
Let's go left.
That's unlucky.
Coming in to focus him on the right.
Shield's gone.
You can see the
We gotta deal with
you
it.
can see them coming in,
Coming
and
in to focus him on the right.
Shield's gone.
ideally he would be dodging them, being like playing cover and stuff like that. But for them to both hit him and detonate so quickly is kind of unlucky. He just like blew up immediately. Good fair ult though.
I'll catch up.
Monkey ulti, get up. Get up.
We were gonna reset, but then we're like, oh well, let's go then.
Alright, we should all be coming in to focus him on the right.
Shield's gone.
Let's go left.
So
Let's go left.
You lost me. You
All
lost
reset.
me.
dumbass, when you are ulting as Pharah, as Riptide, as a Junkrat, it doesn't matter as much, right? But as Pharah, you need to tell your team, like, hey, I'm going to ult, protect me, right?
Alright.
Because you can't move when you're ulting, right? And so
It would make me vulnerable.
you're very vulnerable. So it gets to the point where even if you get 1 or 2 picks, you'll probably die, and
Alright.
that might not be worth it. Whereas
Right.
if you say, hey, team, I'm going to ult, you can have Vaz come up, help you with the defense, make double like an Inox healing you. And so it's just, and then you can get an impactful ultimate and also stay alive and continue having an impact for the rest of the fight.
Alright.
You lost Mercy.
Reset. Reset.
Push.
Go. I'll catch up.
Monkey ulti, get up. Monkey, focus monkey, focus monkey.
The fuck? Where am I? Oh.
Telly is up.
Monkey
Telly
down,
is
monkey
up.
down.
Mercy on point.
Victor, where's this fast? No, this is Victor. Victor, when mercies are rezzing, shoot at them. Swing your hammer at them.
I'm swinging.
Telly is up. Mercy on point.
Okay, so you swing at her. You did get to her. I thought you were facing the other way, so that's okay.
Look at that sliver of health. So sad.
That is unlucky.
Telly is up. Telly is up. Mercy on point.
Krovek uses Ray Form here, presumably because he's getting pummeled by the Symmetra. He can cancel it. I don't know if he knows New Reaper can cancel it, and once he's full health or getting healed, he should cancel it, and then this Mercy probably dies quickly.
Mercy down.
Does get him eventually. Oh no.
Down. Soldiers on high ground.
So this is the right idea of sorts, right? You can probably take this 1v1 against the soldier, and the soldier's on high ground. But in this moment, he would be better off coming down and rezzing Victor, or coming down and just healing Baz, right? He dies here, and this is a much safer play.
First down. Soldiers on high ground.
And if you are going to
Soldiers on high
go
ground.
for this, you keep your distance and aim for the head and just strafe back and forth and shoot at their head until they die or back up. Because when you get really close, you get really easy to hit,
Soldier half, soldier half.
Yeah, that
and
was
then you die.
Come back, dumbass, come back.
Soldier half, soldier.
Soldiers on high ground.
So when you basically the biggest thing here is the mentality when you're going into fights attacking a control point. The more important thing is to stay alive. It's more important to stay alive, especially as and tanks. It's more important to stay alive than it is to get kills, because the rest of your team will come back. And if you trade in situations like this, it is bad for you. Whereas if you stay alive, then your team comes back and take another 66, or you just out sustain them, it is more important. But if you, it's like in 2CP and hybrid maps, the first point is usually better to take the safer choice than it is the risky choice. So like, for example, charging as Reinhardt. Like, let's say you see somebody here and you don't know who else is there, and you want to go for a charge. It would be better to just sit there and shield and have your help your team kill them as they come in, then go for the aggressive play. Because if it fails, then you guys probably lose, especially against a Symmetra.
First down. Soldiers on high ground.
Soldier half, soldier half.
Yeah, that was all the telly.
Come back, dumbass, come back. I feel like I'm not doing
so much more
anything.
progress there with that pick on junk.
Well, let me go to Lucio.
Yeah, just boost us through. Let's boost a point.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, we're all here.
He shouldn't be the one to switch to Lucio. It should be Inox if you guys want to play the Lucio. Because now you just don't have enough healing for your Reinhardt, and so it's gonna feel even more useless. But he'll feel really speedy while he feels useless. Ideally, when we switched off of the Pharah, we would go to Moira Lucio, Inox on Lucio, and Doublek on Moira. In an ideal situation. If they're uncomfortable on the heroes, it's okay, but you need one of Moira or Mercy, and this doesn't have either of them. So that makes life for you right now.
Alright, we're gonna go in front of the shops. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Go, 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 go.
Go past the turrets, go past the turrets. Ignore them, ignore them. Come on.
Monkey's behind.
So you don't need to ignore the turrets. Doublet calls to ignore the turrets though, and Dumbass gets kind of left behind here because he is.
Yep.
Let's go.
3, 2,
What
1,
happens
let's
here?
go.
Go, 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 go.
Go past the turrets, go past the turrets.
How does he have health already?
You took a little bit of spam, took like one Junkrat bomb, and then so Dumbass lags a little bit behind here. So I guess let me put this into easy terms so that Dumbass can understand, even though he's not watching. When your team is pushing through a choke or something like that, or kind of repositioning, right? You want to be playing as close to the rest of your team as possible, so that the rest of your team can really protect you, and you don't kind of get stuck behind if the other team rotates behind your team. So as your team is rotating through, you want to be very close to them and just like following the Reinhardt wherever he goes, and then go to wherever you want to position from there. But don't like keep your, because what you tend to do is, did he leave? He did. Feels bad. Alright. I'll explain it to him later. Basically, he tends to stay too far back, even before the fight starts. Once the fight starts, he can back up a little bit, but before the fight starts, he needs to be with the rest of the team so that it's a 3, so that he isn't just by himself
Turrets,
and
pass the turrets.
taking the entire brunt of all of the turrets.
Ignore them. Ignore them. Come on.
So he makes it out, sort of.
Monkeys behind.
Because when we all go in together, they can't focus us all.
Start killing people.
Monkeys
You might get like a turret a person, right?
Right, they all attack the first thing they see,
Ready?
and so
Let's go.
what's going to happen here is they're all going to shoot at the Reinhardt.
Go.
Go past the turrets.
Okay, one of them shot at the Diva, but they just all shoot at the Reinhardt until the Reinhardt isn't in their LOS. So, same with Torbjorn turrets, by the way. They just attack the first thing they see until they can't see it anymore. So, if you are playing a main tank, or either tank, really, and you're up against a Torbjorn, if the turret is shooting and it is not shooting at you, this is a bad thing. Because the turret means nothing to you, and it means a lot to 200 HP targets. So, pro tip there. If you're playing like Winston or Diva or any of the tanks, and you're up against Torbjorn, let the turret shoot at you so that the rest of your team can kill the turret uncontested.
Should I have turned my shield like I did, or should I just kept going forward?
That's fine that you did. When he calls to just ignore them and keep going, you can just ignore them and keep going. Even if it's not necessarily the best call, when somebody on your team calls to do something, do it.
Go.
Go past the turrets. Go past the turrets.
So go past the turrets. Just come back here. Let shield recharge.
Go past the turrets. Ignore them. Ignore them. Come on. Start killing people.
Monkeys behind.
Let's send them flying.
Turrets. Ignore them. Ignore them. Come on. Start killing people.
Monkeys behind.
I don't understand. Did you take a Junkrat? You must have taken a Junkrat mine, but I don't see it.
Start killing people.
Monkeys behind.
What happened to dumbass or what?
No.
Soldiers behind.
So here,
Let's go.
Go.
Go past the turrets. Go past the turrets. Ignore them. Ignore them.
this monkey is throwing. Right? He's like, hey guys, I'm gonna 1v6 you guys. You guys need to shoot at him. Right? Because even though he has like 500 or 600 health, it goes away very fast when he gets discorded and shot at a bunch by everyone. Right? And if you guys all shoot at him, you kill him and then take an easy 5v6, and he's not even resable because he's way behind. Right? So when the enemy does something really stupid like that, you can alter your game plan. Like, let's say game plan was, say you wanted to go to the point and take a fight on the point, right? But the enemy team does something really stupid and throws somebody forward, which a lot of times teams will do because they aren't the most coordinated, and they're like, oh, this will be really cool, we can go for this really aggressive play, and nobody else is on board, and they die, right? But you have to make them die. So if somebody like does something really aggressive or something that you don't think is going to happen, everyone just call it out and everyone should focus them. Because right now, what happens is we're calling to go past the turrets and just go to the point, but we're split up, right? Because Faz is on point right now, Inox is right behind him, Dumbass is all the way over here. Our tanks are very split, right?
Ignore them. Come on. Start killing people.
Monkeys behind.
Roll, focus him.
Soldiers behind.
Monkey down.
Both have. Soldiers.
So I'm trying to figure out the point that, like, kind of what happened. I mean, we know what happened, but I mean, we should. When this is going on for me, I don't know that they're all back there. Like, we were speed boosting in, and I ran up there, and I'm clearly too far forward, taking a fight by myself.
Soldier behind.
Um,
Monkey down.
I'm
Right.
trying to see the point at which we should have,
Start killing
like,
people.
what should have happened differently, or how. I mean, because it's everybody's kind of shouting at that point, or I'm trying to think, like, in the moment, how we would figure out that we need to kind of fall back and regroup or fight that Winston.
So, good general rule of thumb especially when you're playing with a Reinhardt comp, is do what the Reinhardt does. Right? So if you're starting to fight and you don't see a Reinhardt, if you don't see your Reinhardt, then you should be thinking, "Where's my Reinhardt?" And you can ask like, "Victor, where are you?" Or something like that, like, "Where's my Reinhardt?" Stuff like that.
Okay.
Go past the
And
turrets, go past the turrets.
he will then say, "Oh, I'm doing whatever I'm doing. I'm shielding turrets and spawn because it looks fun." Whatever he's doing.
Nice and warm.
Ignore them. Come on. Start killing people.
Monkey's behind.
Like okay, so he does take mine. But yeah,
Was that a mine I'm looking at in there?
yeah,
Oh, yep, there it is.
yeah. So.
I thought Lucio had even more hops than I thought he did.
I
But I think what
want
happens
this
is
Lucio skin. This is kind of cool.
between the turrets and the monkey jumping behind, dumbass was already kind of low, so I was trying to make sure he wasn't gonna die.
Right. Communicate that. Because this person, and this person don't know what you're doing. Right? And so they go in. Doublek doesn't really intentionally go in. He gets booped into the middle of their enemy team, which is kind of unlucky. Kind of either big bang plays or kind of luck by this Junkrat, but what was I saying? Oh, you need to communicate. Like pretty much whenever you're doing a thing in Overwatch, especially as a main tank, you need to be communicating it because the rest of your team is kind of playing around you. And so they need to know if you're not standing here with a big shield that they can be safe behind, or a big body that you can do hammer swings at, and whatever. So ideally, like if we were in perfect positioning here, Inox and Victor's positions would be completely reversed, and this fight probably goes a lot better. So we get really split going through this choke, right?
Come on.
We need, because we have our DPS and our Reinhardt in the back, and then our supports on our Diva in the front. And we need to be fighting a 6 because we take like a 3v1 in the back and a 3v5 in the front,
Come on.
right?
Start killing people.
Monkey's behind.
I guess the soldiers behind too.
Soldier low, focus him.
But we lose Dumbass because we aren't together. So if either support is with him, if he's calling out that he's low, if we're turning around to kill the monkey, Dumbass lives here. If he pushes in earlier, he stays alive here as well.
Come on. Start killing people.
A lot of things could have gone
Soldier low,
better
focus
this
him.
fight.
Soldier behind.
And once it gets to this point, this fight is just not winnable. Unless we have, like, crazy ults. But we don't.
Soldier behind.
Monkey down.
And they just completely surrounded us, and we were unable to do anything. I think we should have, in this scenario, what should have happened is we push in,
Go past the turrets. Go past the turrets. Ignore them. Ignore them. Come on.
right here, we should call out, kill the monkey. Faz, you should be coming with Victor, near Victor, shooting at the monkey. These guys will all shoot at the monkey. They'll kill him before it kills Dumbass. And then we can then push the point for an easy 5v6. We also don't get thrown off by the flanking tactical visor.
Start killing
Symmetra
roll,
low.
focus him.
Soldier behind.
Also,
Soldier
this is what sucks about
Soldier behind.
having the first-person VODs versus
Monkey down.
the third person for doing macro stuff and not like micro. Because I'm not just trying to look at what Double's doing and try to give like an individual review for Double. I'm trying to go for the whole team right here. So I don't know if Inox has ult here. If he does, he needs to use it. If not, I don't think we got a Zen ult this game, which is bad. And if we were playing either Zen Mercy or Lucio Moira, we would have ultimates, support ultimates ready for this push. That would also be very helpful. The Zen ult charges slowly when your team doesn't take fights because his ult is mostly based on the damage he does. Or his ult charge is mostly based on the damage he does because his healing is so small. So he needs to be getting good damage down in order to get Transcendence. And since we were unable to really even get through the choke without a shield, with a shield for the most part, we couldn't charge Transcendence. So it seems like a lot went wrong, and it did. Yes, a lot of things kind of went bad, but the most part is we wasted our shield too much, and that goes for kind of both of you and you, the two people in here. uh, you can trade defense matrix, have Ryan take some damage as we're walking in, to kind of keep that shield healthy. And then we get more fights, we get more ultimates, things go better. Team comp was bad. I keep saying I'm going to give you guys like a spreadsheet or something with team comps, and I haven't done it. I'm going to do it tonight. I'm write myself a reminder. For a second. Okay. Alright. So I'll post something in Discord tonight. But team comp was bad, and we were very disorganized in our fight. Like, Reinhardt comps are, people make them more complicated than they need to be, when in reality, pretty much the idea of the comp is everyone attacks the only character that Reinhardt can actually hit. And whoever it is, whoever Reinhardt can actually swing at, everyone else shoots at. And they die. That's pretty much the game plan. Everyone stands behind the Reinhardt. Reinhardt takes all the damage, but everyone uses all of their defensive abilities onto the Reinhardt. And it's basically will the other team kill your Reinhardt, or will you guys keep your Reinhardt alive? And if you keep your Reinhardt alive, you just win. Right? But we didn't play it like that very much. We played it more like, alright, everyone go, do your thing now. And everyone went and did their thing. And it didn't go well. Because that's not a thing that goes well. So, since you guys are here, I'll do more individually for what you guys could have done here. Go through this last fight, because this last fight is really where the only one that we actually took a decent fight, and I got to see it.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
Go, 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 go.
So here, don't give me an ad. Are you joking me? I know about Castrol Edge. You told me about it already.
I'm
You
sure
might
if
have
you forgot
forgotten. Yeah.
in the past, 20 minutes,
Please.
Remember to change your oil every 60 minutes.
looking oil.
It's more than just oil. It's Castrol.
Oh.
Alright, so I don't know, sometimes it gets desynced when that happens. Is this a character that I'm circling that is critical right now? Is that dumbass?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Alright,
Ready?
perfect.
Yep. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, let's
DMing.
go.
Go, 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 go.
It's right here. As you guys are pushing in, Faz, you should be defense matrixing a little bit more. You kind of do a little bit. You kind of like feathering it. When you're using defense matrix, think use it to defend against specific things. So like you see Junkrat balls here, like aim at the Junkrat balls to like eat those, rather than just kind of spamming defense matrix into an area to make that area safe.
Okay.
That'll help you maintain the resource better because you don't need to hold it there if you don't see any kind of danger. And if you do see danger, you don't necessarily need to hold it. You can kind of feather it a little bit so that you can eat what you need to eat and then keep going. But eat some of these explodey things.
Go past the turrets, go past the turrets, ignore them.
Victor, when you hear this call of go past the turrets and ignore them, you need to either call back, no, we need to stay here and help dumbass, or do it. But you stay and help dumbass, but don't say anything about it. So Double X just assumes that you're going to come with him.
Come on. Start killing people.
Monkey's behind.
Photo roll, photo roll, focus him. Start killing people.
Monkey's behind.
Right here,
Photo roll, focus him.
he's calling Soldier. Monkey has already been called. And Faz, you go for Symmetra, which makes 3 separate targets that our team is attacking. I see why you went in here. You see your Lucio is like here. That's kind of dangerous. You want to help him, and you see the Symmetra, and you're like, I can kill this Symmetra. You're probably better off attacking one of the targets that has been called. If you can see them. If you can't, then go for shooting at them, at whoever you can see. And that's more on Double X and, well, they call that Monkey behind, but you need to call out location on this soldier because he's using Tac Visor right now, and it would be better served for you to, instead of flying at the Symmetra, fly at the soldier who I think is in this room, like going behind. So if you go attack them,
Photo roll, focus him.
Soldier behind.
then Inox lives and Krobek doesn't take so much damage.
Yeah.
Monkey down.
Both have. Soldier,
Watch out for
soldier,
Symmetra.
soldier, get that soldier.
The monkey if you can.
Oh shit.
So in general, the fight breaks out and people are attacking too many different targets. Usually we don't have a problem with that. Usually we just all attack whoever Victor is saying, unless something strange happens, like a soldier uses attack visor. And so this is an unusual mistake for our team. Right, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it, because we usually are very good at attacking who Victor says to attack, or attacking whoever on the enemy team is ulting. But just keep that in mind and keep thinking about that, because it's very important. And when we do it well, we look good, and when we don't do it well, we look bad.
Monkey.
That's pretty much Eichenwald. You guys probably don't get another touch.
I would take control.
Any questions about that map in general, this attack, anything? Sounds great.
So we basically do the same game plan as if we were running die. Okay, this one first. Should I go Winston or Ryan attack?
It's up to you. It's honestly whatever you feel more comfortable on. If one isn't working, you could switch to the other. In general, for this point, Reinhardt is probably a little bit better, just because it's pretty straightforward. You can walk to the point and start swinging, similar to King's Row. Compare like Winston has no high ground to jump onto or anything like that. Second point, Reinhardt is very, very much better, or Winston is very much better than Reinhardt because of the high ground from the castle. And third point is back to being slightly Reinhardt favored. So you can play Winston throughout the whole map. A lot of pro teams will play Winston throughout the whole map just because they don't want to have to switch tanks halfway through the map. But Reinhardt is, if you were just attacking first point, Reinhardt is the way to go. Yeah.
What about triple tank attack?
Triple tank, that's actually what I was just thinking. Triple tank attack is decent on this. Anytime Rhine is good, triple tank is also good. Since you only had to take this first point and you didn't have to do the rest of the map, triple tank would have been a good idea. Triple tank in general on this map can be good. On first and third point, and then just second point you have to switch to dive. But if you guys want to try a triple tank push on this map, you can play Krovik on the Zarya and Dumbass on the Junkrat, and just kind of play it like you do King's Row. And that might be the best option for this map, because it should... Heavy tank comps are easy to coordinate, because in order to get healed and in order to really do anything, you have to be with the rest of your team. So it's difficult to split up with tank heavy comps. So maybe we should run something like that.
That's what we did on defense. We ran triple tank, Roadhog, Junkrat,
Okay.
or Zen blade.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. On defense, that triple tank is good. The Moira Zen is good. The only thing I'd be wary of is if they switch to a Pharah, you don't really have much to counter it. But then switching the Roadhog to a McCree kind of gets that for you. On attack, I'm okay with that. Switch the Zen for a Lucio, and it's perfect. I think triple tank will be good. I hope that the new balance changes don't go through quite yet, because some of the things that are strong will be kind of different if that happens, and I don't want to have to... That would be kind of cruel, because we'd been working on various team comps, and then they would have to change, and that's kind of frustrating. So we'll see. But yeah, triple tank with Zarya on attack is good. With Roadhog on defense is less good because it's vulnerable to Pharah, but still a decent choice. As you saw, it full health. You drew? Yeah.
We should have been able to beat them.
Not bad, you don't lose any SR.
No, what did we fail?
Or I guess you're doing placements,
I think I
so
should have switched off.
you don't lose any SR anyway.
Yeah, we just kept poking and we never actually tried to kill
Well,
anyone.
By the time I would get to the actual bridge, my shield's gone.
If we had a little more time to do the strat we just did, we would have done it in like 2 or 3 attempts at most.
Yeah.
We left ourselves one chance to do that, and that's what we need to do, not just poke in. And we were just standing there
Boosting
poking.
through that
You're
choke,
not
I
gonna win
think,
this
is
shield
the key
battle.
to this.
Well, either that or I could have. I needed to switch off with fast and have fast DM for part of it, and I think that would have went better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
so I mean,
was DMing the DM.
you identified the problem, which was you never had a shield going into the fight. But and part of the solution, yeah, Faz can help with the defense matrix. You guys can, but you're starting to shield too early, right? So try to focus on that in next kind of games and stuff. Try to start shielding a little bit later. Start shielding when the entire enemy team can be shooting at the rest of your team. Like, start shielding to push them through the choke rather than to get them to the choke, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Don't let yourself die if you're like taking a whole bunch of damage to put your shield back up. But don't be afraid of taking a little bit of damage as Reinhardt when you have a full shield. Alright, so that's Eichenwald. You want me to go over another one?
Dorado.
Dorado.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah,
Dorado.
Dorado.
Ooh, Ilios. Ilios is fun. Oh, dumbass is popping off. Alright, let's go.
Monkey down.
Mercy left side. Mercy left side.
Marcy left side, get her, get her.
Ilios is fun.
Season.
Oasis, you got all the King of the Hill maps. You guys are lucky.
More?
Did we win Oasis?
Oh shit.
We did not.
No!
win Oasis.
No, we got that's another one. That's another one we got stomped.
Oh, I guess Oasis was not good. I'll
They had
look
a
at on my own time probably then.
they had a really good Pharaoh.
Junker time. Where's Dorado?
Game
Was
was
it earlier?
Dorado.
How many games did you guys play? What?
They've got a hard.
We played like 2 quick plays. This is a quick play right here. Nirvana.
Okay.
Legion.
He's
Which
gonna.
also didn't go well. Well, it's still quick play. Nirvana still quick play.
Didn't we win? I thought we won Legion.
Never mind.
No. Well, so I'm still upset about it.
All by herself.
Nice.
It's a real game or a fake game? That's a real one,
Danger pads.
I think.
Yeah. Both teams have.
Get that hog, get that
Things. Yeah, that's Hollywood. What's after Hollywood?
I think we stopped them.
Eichenwald. Eichenwald is
Save your ult.
long game because he full held and then got full held.
That's a good plan.
The Junkrat's gonna.
Dorado must have been right after this then. The only spot I skipped over a decent amount, I think. No, it's Ilios.
Because we drew and then we won. We won Ilios. And then it was like 3 losses or 2 losses.
Pushing.
Push, 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 push.
It's going to be after Ilios.
Nice kill.
Yeah.
Hey,
There we
there it
go.
is.
Yeah, the key to being able to blink through and 180 around.
Yeah. It's like the same. It's the same sensitivity now that I use for Diva. So you like boosting around a cart, you can do titles and some shit.
Fast. What's the first thing you do on this map?
Look over the top.
Yay.
I see a
Dumbass.
Junkrat sitting main, like that high ground.
What is he?
Oh, I
yeah,
see him
yeah.
now.
Well, can we,
Alright, I can't tell what's going on because Doblik's just staring at the ground. Alright, there we go.
Friendly, you always skip over our friendly,
Or
lighthearted
Is
banner.
he straight
Very
across
rude.
too?
yeah,
may
me
have
setting up and Reinhardt. They're setting up all in that spot.
Because it doesn't need any work.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, they're all up there.
I'm gonna go for behind them. You guys all want
That's another situation where I did not know where to dive. Because they are so clumped up. I guess.
Right, they're all sitting up here. Right?
No, they're like straight ahead from the payload
They started there and they basically immediately rotated around the corner.
to the second spot.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not the button I wanted to press. C is to clear drawings, and V, which is right next to it, is to turn all drawings into arrows. So I always press V, and then I end up with that.
There you go. It's a good one.
Cool, but I'm like, if I'm drawing circles, I don't want an arrow.
You could. Look at that. You're like recycling or something right now. It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Alright, so for here, you have the right idea. Just kind of hide behind the payload. Try not to take much damage. Push until they stop you. In general, on this map, so many teams are bad at the rotation that you can just wait until some of the people start to rotate, and then you dive on the people that are slow.
Uh-huh.
So like when their tanks start to move and their supports lag behind, you just dive on their supports and kill their supports. which is essentially what happened to us in Eichenwald, right, when we're pushing through, and Dumbass is lagging behind, and
Mm-hmm.
Krobek and Victor turn around to help him and stuff. Diving on that stack of 3, look for stuff like that where you can go, hey, look, these people are slow. Kill them. You also don't even need to take a dive early on this fight, right? You can, on this map, you can just continue to hide behind the payload.
Alright, it's a lot of.
Orb on a
So I
reset.
might have should have went after him then, but that was such an odd thing. I didn't expect it.
Let's go recent. Let's go recent.
Wait, what were we doing just now? Oh, we got junk ratted up.
Yeah.
Like we
So-
did a simultaneously failed dive.
Yeah.
Now.
That's odd.
What happened here?
And Crow's on the tracer.
Yeah.
Orb on a reset.
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
Hey, never mind.
But, yeah, so when you're pushing this right here, your biggest priority, rather than even pushing the cart, is to take as little damage as possible. So if you start taking damage, a lot of damage, you can hide in one of these little spots or even back up or something like that. Doblex should fly to you and then be playing in this cubby so that he can heal you easier. But even so, you should be trying to take as minimal damage as possible.
They're down.
Let's go recent. Let's go recent.
Oh, Viva tried to save
Sorry,
me.
I'm out.
That was a bad call out. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm already there.
You're also low health.
Mm-hmm.
They're down.
You don't have any armor,
Down.
and you want to go fight someone.
Oh, Viva tried to save
Sorry,
me.
I'm out.
Oh, the junk rat was bad.
Peek.
Yeah. So you recognize that was a bad call out. You need to give people a chance to say no, right? Like the whole reason, the biggest reason that you do call outs or you do like a countdown or something like that is so that, and instead of just going, because they do these kind of call outs even in like pro level games where people have such good awareness that they notice their main tank is going in and they'll go in immediately on them. So if there wouldn't be any kind of problem like that. The reason there's a countdown and a kind of little bit of period of time is so that the rest of your team can tell you if it's a bad idea and say, no, don't do it, right? So you need to give them that time to say,
Alright, it's a lot.
no, I don't have any health, Victor.
Orb on
I,
reset.
And neither do you.
Let's go
you need to double because like, if you say like, all right, you ready to go, Arissa? Double would immediately say, wait, you guys are low. Faz would immediately say, oh, I don't have much health. And then Victor, you would go, okay. And then wait. And it would look a lot better.
They're down.
Let's go recent. Let's go recent.
Oh, Viva tried to
Sorry,
save me.
I'm out. Sorry, I don't know what I did wrong.
Bro, peek.
Oh wow.
We got reset.
Never mind.
Fast, just go back and switch off.
I can't get anything done with that
Oh,
turret.
good call. Yeah.
Yeah. Bar's not gonna work here. Oh, Drunk's poking.
Victor, what you can also do
Uh-huh.
Never mind.
here is
They're down.
Let's go.
just set up a defensive bubble here. Usually defensive bubbles are kind of bad idea because they're such a long cooldown.
The cooldown's so long.
It is a very long cooldown. It's like 14 seconds or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's hefty, right? But since you won't necessarily need to take a fight for a long time, and you're taking shots from a Torbjorn turret and spam like that, you can just put a bubble here and let you like a bubble on the cart so that you can allow the rest of your team to push in,
They're down.
Let's go.
or not push in, but to be able to push the cart kind of uncontested until here, and then you have lots of health. And even though you don't have a bubble, you still have health and can fight instead of just immediately getting deleted
I'm out.
everywhere.
I don't know what I did wrong.
Bro, peek.
Oh wow.
We
Yeah.
got reset.
Also, as far as who to dive in this kind of comp, since there's a Brigida, diving is difficult and life sucks, but whatever. But in general, if you're up against a Torbjorn, you can dive a Torb turret. It is a valid dive target. because once the Torb turret goes down, the rest of the team is usually playing based on where the Torb turret is. Torb turret goes down, your flankers can get work, you can find another dive, and you'll be very happy.
Wow.
Reset.
Never mind.
Fast, just go back and switch off.
I can't get anything done with that
Oh,
turret.
good call. Yeah.
Yeah. The car is not gonna work here.
So that Victor calls out good thing. If you're low on ult charge, you can just go and like switch to Roadhog and then switch back to Diva. If you had a lot of ult charge, just jump off the side of the map so that you respawn with your ult. But yeah, so that you can get mech back.
Not gonna work here.
I think I went over that with you. I don't remember though.
Yeah.
Alright.
Double.
You gonna junk?
Still feel like the fair would have been the call.
Yeah, they do have two.
Yeah. On paper, Fair is a good pick into this comp and good on this map because there's good cover and stuff. But you need to play it well. Like as Fair, you have to go in you can't just kind of poke for free like you can normally. When you have a Torb on high ground, you just need your tanks to go in before you can engage.
They do have two shields and a turret. Well,
Because turrets, like, there's a reason people in very low ranks think that Torbjorn counters Pharah, because her turret will kill a Pharah very quickly, especially if the Pharah's not being pocketed and the Pharah isn't out of its range.
2.5. They got the bridge at.
We're all here, right?
Because I was imagining that like there has to be over by like this yellow building to our right, something that far away, and just like destroying shields.
He can be sitting up there shooting down from far away, or he can play around the cover of this red building, like peek in and out of it, doing damage from there. That way, if you guys decide to dive, he can come with you a lot easier.
I don't think
They're smart.
so.
They'll be watching.
Okay.
Eva, save your matrix. Enemy tire. Oh,
Watch out.
Shoot your top.
holy shit!
Nice.
Nice.
How did that not kill you?
I was
Wow.
at 2.
I don't know how Doublek is alive.
I cannot
Must
stay around
have
the corner for any length.
ran into the bubble.
Reset.
No, he came to me. I was jumping away.
It's okay. Mercy can fly everywhere, so. Positioning for Mercy is different than positioning for most heroes, because what would be out of position for most heroes isn't necessarily out of position for Mercy, because she only has to be there for 2 seconds. Right, so like, if the other team can't get to her in 2 seconds, she's fine. But yeah.
All of us?
I guess I'll just
Why not? We can all jump on it from really close.
Sure.
Why don't we just
switch
Come
off
down to
and
me.
use
Come down to me.
What's going on over
They're
here?
gonna see us doing it.
Yeah.
Well, at
Yeah.
least on level ground that way, though.
I have no idea what to do at this point.
Are we going up?
No idea, no clue.
Okay.
I just jump over there. Maybe I can see something.
I'll be
I missed
You
the
missed
shield
your
drop.
bubble. That's
Okay.
unlucky.
Feels bad.
Oh, there you
Well, that's the right idea, to kind of jump on this high ground a little bit, take some space. Up against a comp where they're all like stacked up on top of each other, you want to take as much space as they give you. Like take all the high ground near them. You want to be everywhere, and then you say, "Okay, now we fight," and jump in. Like here's what you should do. Let me get a good angle.
Are we going up on the balcony? Yeah. Okay.
Here's a decent angle, right? So you should jump up onto the balcony, right? Wait for your cooldowns, and then find a target to dive, and dive them. Or you can go back to trying to push the payload using a defensive bubble, or even just trying to hide and pushing the payload until it goes all the way around. Because I guarantee you it is possible to push this payload to the point where they either have to drop and contest, come around and contest, or just C9 really hard. Right, like, it is doable to hide behind this payload and continue to push it. and they can't hit you.
I see, like, when they're so clumped up, and this is the problem I've always had, I don't know who or how or, like, who to dive. Because you got, like, 6 people all within, 5 feet of each other. I don't know. So that's why there's a lot of me, like, hemming and hawing, because, like, this, I don't see an opening or an opportunity or, hey, go for this or go for that.
What you do in this kind of situation is instead of diving a specific target, you dive a location. So you can dive this high ground and you jump onto it, right? And you stay close to the ledge so you can back off if you start taking a lot of damage, which you probably will. But you jump on there, and then once you get there, you look around and assess the situation. You go, oh, hey, I've done a lot of damage to this character. Now we focus this character. Or, oh, hey, look at this. Nobody is low and we're all dying. Just back up. But you jump a location, so like, all right, you would say, okay, Faz, we're gonna jump on that high ground. Jump on the high ground. And then let's say you get the Torbjorn really low. Then you would say, oh, shoot the Torbjorn, kill the Torbjorn. Right? But if you don't get anybody low, nobody's taking a lot of damage, then you just back up again. But you just do that so that you can push the payload for free and potentially shake this up, right? You just take a bunch of kind of mini engagements until you find the one that you want. If that makes sense. So like it's similar on like Route 66, teams will hold on top of Big Earl's, the gas station. And when you're diving onto it, you just jump onto it, right? And if it's not what you like, you just back off and go back to the payload. Then jump back on and back off. And just kind of do that over and over again until either it gives you something that you like, they have to eventually contest the payload because you're pushing the payload this whole time. So either you find a good dive or you get free push or they just kill you because it's a game and they are not bots and they can also fight back. But the idea is that you try to get the other team to you're trying to kind of shake up the other team. You're trying to, if they're holding in this kind of rigid kind of style, you want to jump in there and get them to move. You want them to not be there anymore. So you jump there, either they move, they die, or they do a lot of damage to you, in which case you back up and try again.
Okay.
Let me see if I might have a VOD of my team, my Open Division team playing Route 66, which would be very helpful to demonstrate this. So I'll see if I can find that afterwards.
I gotta head to bed. Thanks, Viva.
Oh, I just blinked you.
Okay, yeah, go get some sleeps. Adios. I will interact with you people tomorrow, probably.
Sleep is
or
for the
next
weak.
day.
I'm weak.
You're down.
Good night.
Good night.
See you fast.